You know, like when you join to the other nations and you're fornicating against the Most High, right? So you're joining to another nation. Is that what it's talking about, or is it just not that?
Which part is that you're talking about?
It says they're neither married or given into marriage. So does that mean, does that mean like when we, you know, our nation will join Islam or will join Christianity? Is that actually what it's talking about and not specifically?
This has nothing to do with the nations. That's why I was trying to get where, you know, the train of thought, like where is that part coming from? This has nothing to do with the nations part or joining any other nation. This is exactly what the question is asking. And he's telling, remember, they're asking him about this woman, hypothetical. She has a husband, the husband died. Then she marries another brother. He dies, she marries another brother. And she ended up marrying 7 men before she dies. They're saying in the reincarnation, whose wife is she? Christ is saying in the reincarnation, they come back neither married or given in marriage. So I was trying to find out where you, like, what makes you, what gives you the impression it's talking about, you know, other nations or anything?
No,
like
that just came to mind just now, to be honest, that bit. But I'm trying to understand this scripture itself. Just had something that this then. Neither marry or given into marriage, right? So is it then the fact that they're like they're born again? So you're brand new in Christ. Is it along that line then? So you're born again, so you're brand new in Christ.
I'll take that. Anybody else? That's it. That's a lot. Both of you are correct. In the reincarnation, give me the scripture I want to. Give me Ecclesiastes 1. What I want, 9 or 10?
Come on, sir. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 9. The thing that hath been.
No, not that one. Not that one. Give me No, you can start there. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
Right. The thing that hath been is that which shall be done, and the thing that which is done is that which shall be done. Cool. This thing this no new thing under the sun is talking about man. The precept for that is Ecclesiastes 6 and 10. You could read it. It tells you, and the thing that hath been, we know that it is man. So that thing that was before, the man that was before, he shall be again. And the man which going to be in the future, he was also before. You get the point? And there's no new thing under the sun. I mean, there's no new man under the sun. We all was here before. Every last one of us was here before, then died and was reincarnated into the earth. Keep going.
Khan. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new?
Right? Is there anything whereof which may be said, this is new? Talking about man, and of course, by extension, the inventions of man and the way man lives, right? People will argue, well, that's not true because today you have cars and cell phones and all that type of stuff. That's a mode of transport. And this is just the highest technology for transport today. In 50 years ago, it was the horse and buggy. You get the point? 200 years ago, it was your horses. You understand what I'm saying? Your weapons. You have all kind of technology today, missiles and lasers and all that type of stuff. Before, it was the sword and the arrows and the knife. It was just the technology of the day. But man was always there. There's nothing new under the sun. Every system is the same. Every battle you have is the same. It's the same battles you had that the prophets had. Everything is the same. That's right. Go ahead.
It had been already of old time, which was before us.
It had been already of old time, which was before us. We all were here before. Every last one of us. Keep going.
Verse 11. There is no remembrance of former things.
There's no what?
There is no remembrance of former things.
There's no what?
There is no remembrance of former things.
That's key to the what we was just reading in Mark. There's no remembrance of former things. Keep going.
Come on. Neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
Neither is there any remembrance neither is there any remembrance of things that are to come from those which shall come after. Meaning, 100 years later, the people who born 100 years later are not going to remember the time between now and when they're born. You get the point? We're not going to remember the past, and the future generations are not going to remember the present. When you're reincarnated, you come as a baby, as the sister said. Like what Zap one said, you coming back new with no memory. You get the point? With no memory. How many of you all ever bought refurbished phones? Do they have old phone numbers in them? Do the people who own the phone before call the number you have and say, hey, where's John? Wait with his phone. No. It's a phone. It get refurbished and put right back on the market. Yeah, just think like that. You coming back with a clean slate. You starting afresh with no remembrance of the past. None. So if there's no remembrance of the past, what will you do in life?
Marry someone fresh.
You're going to marry someone fresh and start over, or how you know it's the same person? You wouldn't know. Nobody would know except Most High. So you could marry someone again, or
it's like if I could.
Same person again, but not know.
Or
if I could, sir.
Go ahead.
You could remain unmarried.
Give him a hand. God damn, Rob, man. God damn, Rob. I'm the only one thinking outside the box. Excuse me. He's the only one thinking outside. You don't have to be married and have one. You don't have to. You don't have to. If you need to, then get married. But you absolutely don't have to. You could just be a straight up zealot for the work of the Lord, and you're going to achieve, monumental things. Christ didn't have no rib. Paul didn't have no rib. Many men didn't have ribs, and many men did. Many sisters did not have husbands. Many sisters had one husband. He died, and then she devoted herself to the work of the Lord. There's a sister, an Asherite. Her name was Anna. She was in the temple working when Mary and Joseph brought Christ in to be circumcised. It said she had a husband, and from the days of her virginity, he died, and she remained unmarried and devoted to the temple for the rest of her days. Right? You don't have to marry. It's not mandatory. Just like you, it's not mandatory that you have to marry. You get the point? The essence of this is when it says, Sissy, you had your hand up in the back? Okay, no sweat. Let's go back to Mark, Rob, and read that last verse. 25.
Mark chapter 12 and verse 25. For when they shall rise from the dead, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels which are in heaven.
Right? What does that last part mean? But they are as the angels which are in heaven.
Angels don't marry because they live forever. So they say, even your baby, you don't marry.
Not in that context. Not in that context. In a different context.
Oh, I remember.
Go ahead.
Angels just follow orders.
That's it.
And babies do the same.
Babies do the same. When you come back as a child, you will be as the angels in heaven. What does an angel do? Whatever he gets ordered to do. That's it. Just like a child. Sit down here. They're going to fret, but they're going to go sit there. Put this on. They're going to put that on. You're going to come back as a baby. You're going to come back obedient. Nobody belongs to nobody. Get the point? Now, he cut them. He educate people, and they can't get to kill him, which makes them more angry now. That was like more mad, and they have to do something more. You get the point?
Okay.
Keep reading up.
Come on. Verse 26. And as touching the dead, that they rise, have ye not read in the book of Moses, how in the bush God spake unto him, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
He is not the God of the dead, but the God of the living. Ye therefore do greatly err.
Right? He's saying, have you not heard what the Lord told Moses? I am not the God of the dead, but of the living. Which means what in this case?
That Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, alive.
Well, for sure, if you're taking that precept out separately, but in line with what he just broke down here, in the context of what he just broke down here. If he's the God of the living and not the dead, go ahead.
So like I said, it means it's dealing with those that are alive and breathing and flesh at this point in time. It's not dealing with those that are passed away.
So exactly. So that sister was not really with 7 men, as they trying to put it. You understand? That husband dead. He gone. That living marriage is what matters. You get the point? Now the next one dead, she married another one. That's what matters, not the one in the grave. You get the point? Now they're all dead. What the hell are we talking about? But the Sadducees and Pharisees, they come in with this. When they're dead, that's done. That whole thing is finished. You get the point? That's what you have to remember with this. But the understanding of this, anytime you see they ask Christ a question, and it seemed real kind of, you know, they're trying to kill him. They're plotting to kill him. They're trying to make him say something. The best example I could give you is when you're battling these dumb rock worshippers you got here. They ask you some questions and they think they're so intelligent and they're trying to trip you up so they can mock you, so they can make you feel inferior to join their religion. Just think at that time, if they trip up Christ, he's going to get executed. You understand?
Yeah.
No sweat.
You told me before to when battling to focus in and get to the point, like get to the point. How do you what's the word? How do you do that basically? I master it. Like you just ask loads of questions to find.
Oh no, you mastered it. You think you're in master? I watch you are. You master this shit. You just don't know you master it. You already know what they're coming with. First off, it comes from many camps. It comes from many Saturdays or Fridays, whichever day you go to camp. You put in enough hours, just like driving. After driving for a while, you know when it's time to change your brakes without looking at the pads. Somebody who really don't know, that shit gonna be screeching and they gonna wonder why they ain't stopping. It just comes from the experience. Over time, over experience, you're gonna see it walking up to you. You're gonna be speaking and you're gonna see somebody stop in the crowd and they stop and look, and you already gonna know, yeah, I'm having this battle today. And they're gonna come up and they're gonna ask the same thing that you battled last year with some Ethiopian somewhere. It's really a demon you're battling. So you're gonna battle the same demon on somebody else. You get the point? After a while, you're gonna get what they're really coming at. You're gonna see what triggers them. You're gonna know, okay, what your topic is, what they're talking about. Is they mad with the topic, or are they trying to switch the topic? Which now you could now start a zero in on it. The best thing I could tell you is the experience. But you for sure got it out. You for sure got the whole thing. I want you battling Muslims last week in Caparanda. He zeroed in on straight on the whole thing. All the time he's white is no problem. As soon as he black, he's a damn problem. You get the problem? You battle so many people already. All you're doing is as they come up, you let them talk, they're gonna tell you what it is. They're gonna ask for a breakdown, you make them stay right here. They're gonna try to jump around. As you do that over and over, you're gonna start seeing what their real problem is. You're gonna start seeing it. But I done seen you did it already. So you're right there with it. You know what I mean? So Zapon is gonna say something?
No, I was just agreeing.
Okay, no sweat. Any more questions?
I had one.
I did. Yeah, I did have another question. Well, yeah, I want to get a bit more understanding on this as well. So it's in this is 1 Corinthians 7:2. I just want to clarify, get a bit more clarification on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No sweat. Crafty, what was your own?
And
mine was Luke 5:23. There's another scripture I just couldn't get.
Okay.
When Christ forgives a man's sins, and he said to him, "What's easier, to say walk or sins are forgiven?"
Luke 5:23, right?
Come on.
And to Zapon, what was yours?
1 Corinthians 7:2. So I do.
Go ahead.
For that breakdown as well, I get it a lot better now. And Corinthians is, I understand that, the brother took his father's wife. I understand, quite a bit, but there's this bit here, 7:2, just that bit there that I want a bit more clarification of.
Okay, no sweat. Let me get Captain's question, and I'm gonna come to you. All right.
Canada don't count, so yeah.
And let's keep them online for if there's any questions in the room, in the chat. Okay.
Can't say no sweat.
All right, no sweat. Slappy, sis.
I just wanted a clear breakdown. I think I asked this probably like 9 months ago. I don't really get it. It's Ephesians 2, verse 8 to 10.
Okay. Ephesians 2, 8 and 10. If somebody write those down for me, all right? We go into Zap 1 next, and then the sister's question, all right? Radar, you want to read what is Luke 5 and what?
It was Luke 5 and about 20, probably 20 sets the scene, but the punchline was 23.
5 and 20. But where's the exact question?
My question was 25, where Christ says, "Is it easier to say your sins are forgiven, or to raise up and say, walk down?" All
right, let's start at where you want to start at?
Probably about 20 sets the scene. Let everyone know what's going on.
All right, let's start at 20. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Luke 5:20. And when he saw their faith, he said unto him, "Man, their sins are forgiven thee." 21. And the scribes and the Pharisees began to reason, saying, "Who is this which speaketh blasphemies? Who can forgive sins but God alone?" 22. And when Jesus perceived...
You might have to read a little louder so it pick up on the camera.
But when Jesus perceived their thoughts, he answered and said unto them, "What reason ye in your hearts?" 23. Whether it is easier to say, "Thy sins be forgiven thee," or to say, "Rise up and walk." 24. But that ye may know that the Son of Man have power upon the earth to forgive sins. He said unto the sick of the palsy, I say unto thee, raise and take up thy couch and go into thy house.
Go ahead.
25. And immediately he rose up before them and took up that whereon he lay, and departed to his own house, glorifying God.
All right. Okay. It's good to stop here, or you want to some more?
Yeah, that's that.
Okay.
What's going on there? What do you mean by what's easier?
Okay, this is again the Sadducees and the Pharisees questioning Christ's legitimacy, questioning his authority. That's the best way to put it in this case. All right. Read from read 20 and 21 one more time. Okay.
And when he saw their faith, he said unto him, "Man, thy sins are forgiven thee." And the scribes and the Pharisees began to reason, saying, "Who is this which speaketh blasphemies? Who can forgive sins but God alone?" But when your house
stop right there. Feel that for a second. What are they saying?
I'm
gonna come to this up, and what is saying right there?
Basically, he's saying that who is speaking blasphemies, but who can forgive sin? God alone, basically.
So when they say that, what are they doing in that one statement?
So they're charging to kill him. Say that he's
what they're charging him with?
Say he's God.
Blasphemy.
Oh God.
They already, it's like how the media to say and the suspect had a string of priors, something. That ain't got shit to do with what's going on right now. All of that shit could have been thrown out, and he's an innocent man. Yeah, you know, he had a littered past of priors, and he's been arrested 55 times. They wouldn't say the judge threw it out 55 times. They wouldn't say, you know, that was when he was 17. He done changed and he own a company now. They wouldn't say that. It's them staining him. Who's speaking blasphemies? Now imagine the Sadducees and Pharisees say that, and the people hear it. It's like, who's blaspheming? Who think he had the power to forgive people? Blasphemy. That's what they're doing. You get the point? Who's speaking blasphemies again? That's the same thing they do when they come up to camp. Racist. We talking about Christmas. We talking about a tree. Evergreen tree. You racist. What the hell does that have to do with anything? But yelling that in England is triggering everybody to say they're just racist. They're just racist. They're uncivilized. You get your point across if you talk better. All that is to take away from the point. You understand? All that is to take away from the point. That's what they're doing. All right. So that point is going to say something, Salakia.
Salakia, so I was going to say, I don't know if, I was going to say like, what was it?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
If I could, sir, it was the question on what were they trying to do when they were saying, who does he have the authority? What were they trying to do to Christ? That was the question. And you had to answer.
No sweat. This is up when you remember or la?
La. Yeah,
no sweat. Don't even worry about it. It'll come back to you. Right? So that's what they're doing there first. They're again trying to charge him. Why are they trying to charge him?
So
of course to kill him, but okay, just based on this one here, this account we just read, why must they get rid of him?
Because his authority is bigger than this.
Yes, but okay, what will you see if you're watching? Knowing the whole thing, go ahead.
You see the man getting more glory than you, or
what's giving him the glory?
You see a man like they've been around for years, couldn't fix black people, and this man's doing it.
And he's doing straight up miracles,
right
before their very eyes. Brother, they have to stop it. They absolutely have to stop it. When who was it? Samsung, one of them had a phone, and then the other one released a phone, and then the other one do something to the other one phone, and they just start randomly exploding. You remember that? Everybody's shit was exploding in their pocket, just catching on fire in their pocket, and they were saying it's something the other one do. It's competition. Because if I let these people sell, everybody gonna get phones, and my phone gonna go away. So now you hear them phones blowing up. It could have been 3 in one. It could have been 3. You hear them phones blowing up. I'm going to get the safer one, the one that ain't blowing up. And now it's taking away the glory from that one. You get the point? It's competition. But they can't compete. So 1 second, they can't compete with work. So now they have to throw mud on it. You get the point? They can't outwork it. So they have to throw mud on it. Go ahead, Cesar one.
Yeah, it's like it as well. Like they said that themselves in the scriptures, where they said, if we leave him thus alone, then all men will believe on him. And the Romans will come and take away, our place and nation and so on.
Exactly, because they're carnal. They're only concerned about their seat right here now. They ain't concerned about the future of Israel. So they knew if they left Christ to do his work without bothering him, he'd raise up this nation. So they had to get rid of him. And they were plotting and plotting, and these plots, these questions did not work. And then the sellout came, and then the traitor came, and he took some money. He said, you know, Sweat, I'll go show you who he is. We'll be out in this spot under this tree. The nigga who you see me go dap up, that's him. You get the point? That's what it took to take him down. But they couldn't, all the plotting didn't work. All the plotting didn't work. Where we at? 23?
No, 22, sorry.
Go ahead.
But when Jesus perceived their thoughts, he answered and said unto them, what reason ye in your hearts, whether is easier to say.
Right, and he looking at them and he perceive, he don't see what this is. He see what this is about. So he said, what are you really thinking in your heart? What perceive you in your heart? Like, what's really in your mind? What you really want to do? Right? Go ahead. Exactly. He done lock in on the thing because it's the same thing. But when they ask him about who wife it is, when they asking me this question, when they asking me turn the other cheek, because remember they say all this forgiveness talk he talking. Moses said eye for eye and a tooth for a tooth. Remember that? And Christ said, yeah, but you don't resist evil. Whether they bring the woman caught in adultery, because with all that forgiveness talk, let me see if forgiveness brought here, because we catch her in the act now. So either you are a hypocrite with this forgiveness shit, or you really speaking against Moses because Moses said stone her. So he had to see it and know how to cut them. You get the point? So he done lock in now and he asking them, what reason you in your heart? Go ahead.
God. Verse 23. Whether it's easier to say, thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, rise up and walk.
That's what they're looking at. They're looking at to say, he's like, what's your reason in your heart? Which one is harder to do? Is it easier to say your sins forgiven you? Or is it easier to say, rise up and walk? Asking them a question. And if you know anything about our king, you watch any UPK video and you would see the cut coming. The cut is down there. You don't know. They ain't bleeding yet. But they don't get cut back. Right? I believe this is what your question was, right? All right. Read the next two verses and then tell me the answer for 23.
Come on. Verse 24. But that ye may know that the Son of Man have power to... But that ye may know that the Son of Man have power upon earth to forgive sins. He said unto the sick of the palsy, I say unto thee, arise and take up thy couch and go into thine house. Immediately he rose up before them and took up that whereon he lay and departed to his own house, glorifying the Most High.
All right. What is he asking in 23? What is he really asking them? Or what's the answer? What's the real answer?
He's saying, what's easy to say? I forgive you, or walk again. The answer will be to forgive you. He said, I've done many walk.
The answer is, I'm coming to you, sis. Is that one?
So like you're doing, is saying, no matter what it does, if he says, take up your bed and walk, or if I say, take up, your sin is forgiven, no matter what he says, you know what I mean, they're still against him, so to speak.
Okay, I'll take that too. That's a little different as that one, but I'll take that too. It's almost like he's saying, you know, damned if I do, damned if I don't. But that's not it. A little bit more. I'm coming to
like if I could.
That's the question he's asking. He's asking that, but this is loaded a little bit.
Come on. So is he saying that, you know, they're saying that he's blaspheming because none has the power to forgive but God. But he's saying, like, he told this brother that had cerebral palsy to rise up and like the work he's doing, he's healing the sick. He's doing miracles to prove that he's the Son of Man.
Right.
So the Bible says the Son of Man has the power to forgive sins. So he's like saying, why are you worried about me saying, your sins are forgiven when I'm literally showing you that I'm Christ, I'm the Son of Man.
Robert, you right there. You're right there. You ain't hitting the nail on the head. Go ahead.
Worried about this, but I can make my walk again. He's
flexing, but he's asking a question that they will never get the answer to because they're too carnal. That's the point he bringing here. Okay, break down 24 and 25 for me. You're ready to ready.
24 says, but that ye may know that the Son of Man have power upon earth to forgive sins. He said unto the sick of the palsy, I say unto thee, arise and take thy couch and go into thine house. So he's saying, I have power to forgive sins on earth.
He ain't saying I have power.
Son of Man.
He's saying you gonna know. He said you will know that I have power to do what?
Upon earth to forgive sins. He said unto the palsy of the sick, so the sick of the palsy, I say unto thee, arise and take up thy couch and go into thine house.
So what does he break it down for me? It's right there in front of your face. It's just the way how he asks the question is tripping you up. Go into Zap 1.
Is he exalting his authority?
He is. Something else. Go ahead.
Saying, just so you can know that I run things, I'm making my walk again.
And
it happened. They were right there.
That's true.
Is he saying that basically people who have sinned, he's gonna make them come like people who've sinned, he's gonna get.
Come on, put the key in the door, open the door, you live with the key by the door.
He's gonna bring them. He's gonna make them get their sins forgiven by works and
So when come on, sis.
So it's gonna show people that the sins forgiven by healing them.
Yes, it's the same thing, and that's what they don't understand. Him forgiving them is him healing them. They don't understand that. So he's like, what do you really want to ask me? You trying to ask me if what's easier, telling a man to forgive his sins or telling somebody get up and walk? I'll tell you today, I have real power from the Lord. I have the power to forgive sins. And then he turned to the man with the palsy, said, get up, take up your couch, go your way. And he just did it in front of them. Now what? I have power to forgive and to heal. It's the same thing, but they're too stupid to see it. They're too simple to see it because to them, forgiveness means what?
Like wiping it.
Oh, no, Salaki. To them, no, that's the right question. To them, forgiveness means what?
Praying on your knees and.
If I could, sir.
Sadducees and Pharisees, Rabban.
If I could, forgiveness to them means you don't suffer the punishment of the law or suffer any.
Say that one more time.
It means you don't suffer the judgment of the law you broke.
No. That's more on it. So that if you don't get healed, what is forgiveness to them?
Yes, Shalom, Yabashim Shabbat.
Yabashim Shabbat, what's going on, so
I do have to.
If to them, go ahead.
Forgiveness to them, forgiveness to them means it's like, I come in and telling you, hey, I forgive you. Hearing it from a carnal point of view.
But okay, but in addition to that, you don't get healed. So in essence, to them, forgiveness is something else. Something is right there in it. Who's saying Salakia?
Salakia, the one would it be forgiveness to them is joining them, being a part of them?
Well, that's what they eventually wanted to do, but forgiveness for them means you must be punished, which is why they wanted to stone the woman who was caught in adultery. You understand? They wanted to stone her. Christ offered her real forgiveness, which was healing her from that demon of being a slut, which is where he said, okay, no problem. He who has the first stone, he who was without sin, cast just the first stone. The rest of your sinners could put her to death after. But give me one person in this whole mob who has not committed adultery before, cast the stone. They all dropped their stones and left. Which, when he said that, what did she say? Now they bring her. Imagine, they caught her in the act. She know this is death. She crying, she shaking. They bring her before him. She on her knees. So this man said, "You're gonna be forgiven." We say you had to get stoned. She looking like, "Well, he gonna forgive me. He gonna say your sins is forgiven." He said, "Nah, put her to death. Except the first stone has to be from a completely innocent man." What is she thinking in that very, very moment?
It's over.
It's over. That's it. That's it. She probably grab onto him, please, or just freeze in fear, looking for the first stone. And then stones just start dropping. dropping. And her face was obviously to the floor because after he said, "Woman, look up. Where are your accusers?"
Right.
And he said, "Well, listen, I'm a judge. I'm not the accuser." Like in court. If you go to court and the lawyer for the other side don't show up, what happens to your case? The judge is not accusing you. So he is like, better you stand at the door and keep an eye on Rudolph. Yeah. You could open it and then stand right there and keep an eye. That's the better way to do it. To what? So he's saying, "Woman, where are your accusers?" She look up, they're all gone. He said, "Well, listen, if they're all gone, I'm not accusing you of anything. Go and sin no more." Forgave her of her sin and healed her of that demon. She ain't gonna go to the whore no more because she was this close to dying a horrible death. And sometimes that's what you need. You need that thing to just wake you to hell up and you ain't playing no more. You get the point? Christ had that power. We have that power. You're cutting people on the streets daily. You're banging down Caesar on the floor daily. You may not see it necessarily happen right in front of you, but you hear it after where brothers say, "Man, your tape was the first tape I saw. This class, I saw that video." You see it all the time. You get the point? Cool. It happens to all of us. So it's the same thing. It's just Christ did it in front of their face. Like, nigga, who the hell you think I am? Or you think one is easier than the other? You think it's easy to say forgiveness and heal somebody? I'm gonna show you that I have real power. I'll forgive him right now. Get up and walk. And they couldn't do it. They could have never did it. And that's what happened. It's the same thing. They just don't understand it because they were so busy wanting to put people to death, wanting to punish people because they themselves were sinners. You get the point? Oh, God. We good on this one?
Come on, Hudson.
All right. Raban. Not Raban. Tisapuan.
Cancer. There was that one. 1 Corinthians 7:2. Can 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 2. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife.
Tisapuan, you trying to cut me for the statement I made earlier? That's what it is, Tisapuan. You was like, kept talking about this thing. Don't get married. He's like, he's like, let me see. 1 Corinthians 7:2. Break this down, nigga. Go ahead, read it again.
No, I want to get better understanding. So if someone does ask me that or whatever, you know what I'm saying, I can give them an understanding. So verse 2 again. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. So I just want better, you know what I mean? Like, you know, if someone does come at you like with that, then how do you, you know, I do have an idea, but how do you give me a better way of, you know, getting to the point then of cutting them, so to speak, or even a better understanding of it. More to the point, first of all, a better understanding of it for myself, and then I can, you know what I'm saying, use it as well.
I got you. Okay, first, let's start at 1, so I could give you it from verse 1. All right.
That's 7 and 1. Can. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof he wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman.
All right. All right. So this is Paul speaking to the school in Corinth. And he's saying, concerning the things you've written unto me, right? If you look at the verse before, it's a lot about, fornication, not the verse, the chapter before, a lot about fornication and adultery and stuff like that. So Paul is saying, really, in essence, if you can, it's better you don't get married. This is he telling this to the brothers. If you could avoid touching a woman, don't do it, because you're going to have problems. And this is not, not horrible problems. If you don't want problems with a house, don't buy a house. If you don't want to worry about oil change and brakes, just don't buy a car. Get a bus pass. Like that. That's what he's saying. You get the point? Yeah. He's saying that it's good. I'm too wild. What's that? Chocolate ones or peanut ones or same thing? Yeah, we're taking some after, if anything. I'm good though. Please, I'll take some. Give me the other one. I think the other one is in the back. So what? So he's saying, if you can help yourself, you know what I mean? If you can help yourself, stay unmarried, right? Don't touch a woman if you could help yourself. He went into the different gifts. Some people have different gifts that, you may not want. You can check your sisters on the other side. You check with the mother first, with the allergies and shit like that. It's good. No sweat. So he went into how brothers have different gifts. People have different gifts, not just brothers, sisters too. Some people don't drink ever. Right? They just don't drink, they refuse it, and it's not a problem. It's let's squeeze it down in there. It should hold. Right? Some people don't drink ever, right? They don't drink, and it's not a problem for them. It's not a struggle. They could be around people who drink. They could smell alcohol. It's not going to bother them. They just don't drink. That's a gift. That's an absolute gift. Versus somebody who does drink or has to drink. Somebody who cannot pass up a drink. The bottle is there, and it's like the bottle talking to you. You get the point? There's a person who is in the room, and that bottle is a bottle. Then there's another person who that bottle has a voice. The one who the bottle is a bottle has a gift. They don't need to drink. And you could find that with different things. Everybody have different gifts, different talents the Lord give them. And it's a gift to be able to go without a woman. For a sister, it's a gift to be able to go without a man. That's, not everybody could do that. That thing will drive you crazy. You get the point? It'll make you, all tense, tight. You can't focus straight. You're sending all kind of texts to every number from high school. Who up? You up? You're doing all kind of dumb shit at night because you need to have sex. You get the point? Then there's somebody who comes in, drinks some, cocoa tea, and watches EastEnders and goes to sleep. And it's not a problem. It's not a problem. Wake up in the next morning, go take a shower and go to work. And they're normal. They have a gift. They have a gift. You get the point? So Paul is saying, if you could, it's better you don't touch a woman. It's better you don't. Right? Read verse 2 now.
Verse 2. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication.
What's this?
To avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife.
Read this again from the top.
Nevertheless.
Nevertheless, in other words, but withstanding what I just said, go ahead.
Let every man.
Nevertheless,
to avoid fornication.
To avoid fornication. What does that mean?
Sexual desires or lust.
No. You need sexual desire to make babies. You need it. That's how babies. Yeah. Sexual desire is wrong. Salakia. Let me rephrase that in 2023. Normal, what's the word?
Right.
heterosexual sexual desire is not wrong. You have to say it that way now, because we're in 2023. There's some people who go hump a tree and marry a damn oak in the woods. You get the point? So you have to be specific, right? That's not wrong to have sexual desire. That's not wrong. So that's, you know, I'm not trying to come from you. I'm just trying to Zap trying to cut me. That's what I told you it was flexing in the beginning of the class. I didn't see you. Right here. You know what I mean? Go ahead, try it again to Zap one.
Salakia, so yeah, you know, sleeping with Salakia, committing adultery with another man's wife or somewhere along that line.
All right, I'll take that. Unlawful sex. That's the definition you want. To Zap one. Fornication is unlawful sex.
Cancer, yeah.
You understand? That's what it is. It's unlawful sex. That covers the whole spectrum. You understand what I'm saying? The whole thing, that's fornication. To avoid unlawful sex. Because what? You a man, you don't have a woman, you don't have a rib. What could you do? What could happen to a brother who he doesn't have a rib, but he has sexual desire? Go ahead. He could get a prostitute, which is unlawful. What else could happen to him? He could go have sex with somebody else's wife, which is adultery. What else could happen to him? He could go try to force a woman because he has so much lust and he don't have a wife. What else could happen to him? Homosexuality could come into play. You understand? Because he has sexual desire and he's not allowed. He has sexual desire. And wherever he's at, it makes him feel evil for feeling this way towards a woman. It makes him feel evil for being around a woman to the point he's uncomfortable around a woman. But he comfortable in that locker room after football on Sunday. He fully comfortable in there. Hey, what's going on, Johnny? How's it going? Talking with his head between his leg. He having a conversation, scrubbing his toes. He comfortable there. He comfortable in that thing because growing up in that piss poor place called the Christian church, it makes you think a man and a woman having sex is nasty. Hence, immaculate conception. It's clean when a man is not involved. If a man is involved, it's dirty. And it could happen with women too. A woman could be made to feel like she's just a nasty old skank because she's attracted to a man. And she grew up so Christian and so Muslim or whatever. That's why you see a ton of them Arab women. You probably don't see it here a lot. But they come to the States and they become whores. Who's? they have to change the spelling of the shit. You get the point? Because in DC, brother, them Ethiopians is notorious. Notorious. Because over there, they get stoned. They get, beaten up. You get the point? It's so strict on something that's so natural, they just go overboard when it's time. Right? And he's saying to avoid fornication. Keep reading.
Let every man have his own wife.
Let every man have his own wife instead of somebody else's wife. Read on.
And let every woman have her own husband.
And let every woman have her own husband. Now, what is the trip up that would come here to Zap One? I know it, I just want you to say it.
So let every woman have their own husband. Oh, I had it. Oh, Salakia.
No sweat. Anybody want to try?
Salakia, if I could.
That's typically what happens. People would use this. It's like, same thing. Robin, what you was going to say?
Carl, I was going to say people would think it's the same way where to have her own husband means to have someone else's husband. Couldn't basically.
Say it again. Say it a little slow, a little more clear.
Come on. So that thing that's equal with the men saying that every woman have her own husband means she can't have. It's like she can't have another woman's husband, which it goes.
All right. So now let's take it there. To Zap One, that's what you was trying to say.
Slack I'm trying to. I know I've got it, but It's just.
I get you, but I understand what you're saying. What I'm asking you is that what you were saying that people would try to trip you up with.
You'll have to say that again if you don't mind. Another one. If you could repeat that what Rabban just said.
Go ahead, Rabban, please.
Can't. So they treat the man and the woman as equal, and then use it to say, well, a woman can't have another woman's husband.
You got it, Zabwan?
No, that's not what I'm.
No sweat.
Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to say. That's not what I'm trying to say.
I know that 1 second, so I'm gonna come to you. That's not what you're trying to say. But I'm saying based on the question you asked the question to get broken down because you say if anybody come at you with it. I'm asking you for an example of what they would come at you with it.
Oh yeah, Salakia, yeah, can. That's what they would say, yeah.
That's what they would say. Good. Go ahead, so
Salakia, I was going to say they use this like for one man, one woman. So it's not like, you know, you can't have more than one wife, or a man can't have more than one woman, vice versa.
Exactly, right? So that's what they're saying. That's what they would use it to say. So now let's break it down. First off, go ahead.
Salakia, the one I'm trying to get it. Is it so it's to do with the brother, the son that had sex with his father's wife. So when it says let the woman,
where is that?
That's what this when you read that's what this is. This was about. So there was a brother that had sex, just like what.
Where is it?
I can't remember. It's in here, but I can't remember where it is.
It's definitely in here, but that's not what this one is about. You understand?
So this is not the breakdown of what he did. It's not.
Okay, the breakdown of what he did is when they said cast him out onto Satan.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
The
breakdown of what he did is when they said cast him out onto Satan. I could get that for you after. All right?
Okay.
Right? But this one here is this is Paul writing a school that he is not physically in front of. And you know you live this life. That's what you always want to remember too. A ton of these scriptures, a ton of these questions, you get to understand it on a deeper level because you actually live it. You actually in the place that doing the same thing they're doing. The questions that he was getting is the same questions you and I asked today. Mm-hmm. You understand? What happens with this? What happens with that? You come in here, you're a young brother. You come in the school, somebody see you coming in strong. You can't believe him. He'll ask you, hey, brother, what's going on? So where you slave? He'll try to get to know you. What's going on with your slave? What about your rib? Oh, you ain't got no rib? Now he know you ain't have a rib. So he automatically, what you 9 out of 10 times going to be fighting. Because you don't have a rib at home. You get the point? Oh, that's difficult. For most men, that is extremely difficult. You come in here as a sister. You started making 90 days. You showing up on time. You're paying your tithes. You can't believe they're going to try to get to know you. You're going, hey, what's going on? He's trying to get a feel of who you are. So he knows what's going on in your life. Mm-hmm. We're slaving. You might not have a slave, or you have a slave. Or she don't have no husband. Okay, that's going to be an issue over time. You get the point? And these things is coming up. So Paul is giving the answer back to the school. You understand this, Apuan?
Can.
You get it?
Salakia.
Come on with it.
So Salakia, is it when it's let every woman have their own husband, meaning no.
I'm gonna break it down for you. I just want you to understand the whole dynamic that's going on here. All right?
Cancer, yeah.
Just think of a place, right? Think of a place that's purple and has gold lining all over the place. It's very effeminate. And the women just some female dogs all over the place. right? Most of them. Some of them, you know, they might be all right. And in that place, you get chastised for having masculine, totally normal, healthy sexual desire towards a woman. You get chastised for that. You know, it's normal for a man. Having a woman is conquering a woman. I don't know if your sisters understand that. You know, something on a mountaintop that he had to get up there and subdue and put his flag in and say, hey, I'm right here now. This is mine. And then he looks on the horizon and he sees another mountaintop and he says, stay right here. I'll be right back. And he goes and he climbs up another one. And now he's the man because I'm on this mountain and that mountain. Hold up. There's one in the horizon. Right back. I'm gonna go over there. That's a natural man's way. Man is that he has to conquer, he has to dominate. That was an order given to Adam. Go and have dominion. It's normal for a man to be like that. It's also normal if you don't want to do it on your own. Not because of a fear of women or fear, but you just fine by yourself, or you just fine with one. There's many brothers who, I'm good with this, what I have here. I don't want no more. I'm too wild. They turn down left, right, and center. There's brothers who don't want none. You're offering it to them. I'm good, sir. I just want to do this work. And they really want to do the work. Then there's some brothers, she look like, send me a picture. And that's that. It's fine. That's normal. But a man wants to conquer. He wants to take. So now it's normal for a man to have a desire for a woman. It's normal for a woman to want to be taken by a man. That's the dynamic. He wants to take, she wants to be taken. Put them close enough together, magic gonna happen. That's just it. You get the point? That's normal. He might want to take some more. That's fine. But if you're in a place that's just little with purple and some holy feminine leaders, they're going to make you feel like something's wrong with you for desiring a woman and women. That's why he says the problem is too much polygamy. There's too much of that for him. Did I tell you all what happened with him already? He this is what I deduced, Salak. You know, he used to be in the school way back when. He felt that it was too much brothers getting too many women, right? His type, what happens is he's scared around women. So he looking at some brother, he probably looking at Radar getting 2 and 3 women. And then with Radar 2 and 3, Radar is like, damn, this is bad. I'm gonna get 2 and 3 more so I could enjoy one every day of the week. And Radar proceeds to get 4, 5, and 6. And he's looking at Radar like, you scumbag. He making it seem like Radar grabbing up all the women and I'm leaving none for him when he's a sodomite. He can't really go get women. He too scared. And seeing you get it offends him. And one day, some girl who he liked went to the store and got flowers for him. He came around the corner and saw Radar boots by her step. And then Radar was outside fixing his meat and said, hey, Shalom, what's going on? And he him up. And then them flowers went like this. On that day, somebody went and put some rod on some sister who he was in love with. You get the point? But secretly in love. Like, you know, people around the corner, oh, she can't see me. Goody boy, she can't see me. Like an incel. You get the point? That's unhealthy. That's absolutely unhealthy. There's nothing to be scared of a woman for. Let me tell you our secret. The sisters be more scared of you than you are them. They get way nervous, and that whole bossing up like a baddie is up front. That's why they had to be in a group. Why they can't be a baddie by themselves? Dr. Evil? Because they can hide among the group. Just them by themselves, brother. They're walking around in the hoodie and the big shades so you can't see them. He don't have that in him. And he created a place where a man who has that normal, natural, masculine energy is evil. You get the point? And a woman who have no problem being number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, she's something wrong with her. You get the point? So now picture that place. Now
Salaki.
Go ahead.
Salaki, sir, can I have one more shot? Okay. Let me see if I can get it now. So basically, it's a, you know, like you said, look in there, you know, purple and gold, exactly what they did. You know, when they said this. Let me get to the point.
So like I forgot to water. Listen, get to the point. It's a clarification right here. Go ahead.
Yeah. The women, you know what I'm saying? Like the women sleeping around with the other men, The women that are married already are sleeping around with the other men, man. No, see that? Yeah.
Listen, and that's it. And that's why Paul is saying to avoid fornication.
Right.
Let every man have his own wife. It didn't say one. He can have his own. She's my own. She's also my own. She's my own. Them two want to be my own. I ain't sure about them. This one here will be my own too. Every man have his own wife.
Right.
Because what's the opposite of a man having his own wife?
So like,
go ahead.
Can having someone else's wife.
And that's called what?
Fornication.
Well, that's adultery, which falls under fornication, right? So now, read the second one with the woman.
And let every woman have her own husband.
So now in the first one, the point there was to avoid adultery. So let every woman have her own husband. How would she be committing adultery? What would be the opposite of her having her own husband? No, because that's not adultery. If she's married already, then, and she goes have sex with another man, that's adultery. What else is adultery? No, that's it. That's it right there. That's the adultery it's putting. It's putting that what makes a man adultery is what makes a woman an adulteress. You get the point? It's not the same thing. Christians will tell you that adultery is a man having sex with another woman. That's not adultery. That's called prowess. That's called preference. That's called a God-given right that I choose to exercise. As long as she's unmarried, I can have her if she would let me. If she wants me to take her and I want to take her, she's going to be mine. For a woman, she has to have one husband. You get the point? Now, if she does not have, if she has a husband already and goes and marries and goes and has sex with a man that's not hers, not her own,
that's
adultery.
That's right.
Adultery. She could be unmarried, have sex with this man and this man and this man and this man and this man, more than one. That's adultery for her. The problem is Christianity makes men and women equal. Men and women are not equal. We're equal in terms of we have to all obey God. We all have to serve the Lord. We all have to do what he says. But there are rules for men and there are rules for women. And it's different. What makes me an adulterer is not what makes you an adulteress. You get the point? It's two different things. Go ahead.
So, own for a man, own for a woman. So it's different. They're making it own. If his own means this, then own for her means that.
That's what they're saying. Okay. Just like, what else do the purple and gold people say for man and woman? Just like pants. She ain't supposed to be 22:5. Let a woman wear what pertains to a woman. She shall not wear what pertains to a man. Does that mean she can't wear pants, dummy? No. That means you shouldn't wear them low-rise jeans. And she shouldn't be walking around trying to look like a roadman. That's what the hell that means. She should not walk around here trying to get a good case in point. The broad from Top Boy. Jack, right? Everybody watch her on the Top Boy with the little pop smoke braids And you know, looking all rough with the puffy jacket and the trainers and all kind of shit. And then when you see her off, she's totally feminine. She looks like a man there. There's other women in that same show that wear pants. You could tell that's a feminine woman. Christians don't understand that. They don't have wisdom. Oh, you can't wear pants. Cut her head off. She wearing pants. That's them. Burn a witch by the stake. The sister makes some potion that could help your sores or make your teeth white. She's a witch. Burn her. You get the point? That's a Christian's mind. A Christian mind is that's how he is. After she passed the flower of her virginity, you could have sex with her. In a Christian mind, the flower of her virginity, meaning what? A period. As soon as she bleed, I could have sex with her. That's a Christian. It says after she passes it. Meaning there's a time a young girl starts to bleed and then she becomes a woman and she's past that young time. Now she's a grown woman. After that, you can do it. Not right then and there. Get the point? Go ahead, sis. Absolutely. That's really what it is. It's okay, you could wear a tracksuit and still look feminine. A man can't wear something that makes him look feminine. You could wear a tracksuit and you cannot look like a man. You can't appear to be masculine at all. That's not how you should be. Somebody can't look at you and be like, where's your boyfriend at? I know he's missing you. That's a trick question to see if you say, I don't like men. You get the point? And a man, he had to look masculine. He can't now look female. There's Timberland boots for women and there's Timberland boots for men. There's a shirt for a man. It's called a shirt. There's a shirt for a woman. What's it called? Anybody know? A blouse. They don't even say that no more. You get the point? Because they're so simple. There's clothes for men and there's clothes for women. It's fine. A woman can wear pants. She just can't look like a damn lumberjack. Go ahead. Not for our formal things. For our formal things like classes, high holiday, Sabbath service, our formal things, you have to wear what would be our formal wear. And our formal wear would be a woman, her head covered, a dress, a man wearing his priestly garment, a warlike apparel, a woman looking like a princess. Now, could you wear leggings underneath? Leggings is what? It's a type of pants. So if you can't wear pants, you can't wear leggings. Your underwear is a type of pants. Yeah, it's you put your legs. You can't wear that if you're a woman, right? Because you can't. That the pants pertain to man. They're so stupid. They're simple. It's cold outside. Sisters wearing dresses usually put on thicker leggings underneath. You get the point? Can't wear pants. You have a little girl. She starts to go to school. She reach around 10, 11, 12. Just the time when her chest starts to get a little shape. She get a little bit more fat on her. When I say the fat, where young boys start to notice. Everybody remember that. You go home in May. You come back in September. And what? You see Keisha? Yeah. Jeans and blouse and skirt. I told you should have blossom. Say yeah. Don't worry. I don't. Now, if you're a good parent, what are you making Keisha put on under that dress? Tights. What if it's summertime or it's hot? But there's pants though. So you're sinning. So you had to let her walk the field, and if she running track or playing hide and seek and she jump over something, everybody had to see everything because you a sinner for wearing the pants. See how stupid they are? They're dumb. You get the point? And it's the same thing with this scripture here. What makes the man a fornicator is not what makes the woman a fornicator. Or else she could leave him for having another woman, which is Christianity. You get the point? Right. That's the point. Go ahead.
Like what you're saying with pants. If you ask these man, listen, would you wear pink pants? Nah, it's a woman.
But it's pants. Exactly. It's pants. They're just stupid as hell. So you get the point here? Go ahead.
No, I can't. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Also, breeches, as you just said, that the tights and the leggings would be breeches, which is what they say. You know, it breeches us for men. But obviously, men don't wear tights and leggings and all that. So
that's actually incorrect. Pull up a Bible dictionary. You have one here? Yeah, let me see that one. Yeah, this one. Let me try this one too. No, that's fine now. Listen, you see what's going on here? I never throw it away. This apocrypha. Jeremiah Hyman gave me this apocrypha. I think my second class, brother. I'll never throw this shit away, bro. Listen, that's my sword. Listen, I could get a Bible anyway, but these notes in here is something else, brother. Give me. Is it breeches or dress? What I want. Somebody look up breeches.
Come on.
Oh, breeches or breeches. I forget how you spell it. BREE.
Yeah.
Is it in the apocrypha?
Say again.
In the apocrypha.
Bible dictionary.
Yeah, you have to look up.
Somebody look up breeches for me. You just see it there. If anybody else have another Bible dictionary, look up dress, because it's going to describe different stuff with the dress code.
Get breeches.
You find it?
Breeches, come.
Go ahead.
So, well, in the Compact Bible Dictionary, it says breeches, and then it says see dress in a tunic. So I got to go to dress. Okay, dress. Where is it? It's a long one. Dress. Knowledge of the kind of clothing worn by the people of biblical times comes from scriptural statements. From representations of the people and their clothing, we find monuments, reliefs, seals, plaques, and tomb paintings, and from graves and tomb remains. All these, coupled with the traditions and usages extant among the present Bedouin Arab tribes, lead to the conclusion that at a very early period of man's existence, he learned the art of spinning and weaving cloth of hair, wool, cotton, flax, and eventually silk. And from these established certain simple styles which were continued.
Spell breeches for me.
Come on. Breeches is spelled BREECHES.
Okay, it's a while. Go ahead.
Come on. Established certain simple styles which were continued from generation to generation, then carried by Esau and Ishmael and their descendants into Arabia, where the Arab continued them through the centuries, always with a feeling that it was decidedly wrong to change. The clothing worn by the Hebrew people of biblical times was graceful, modest, and exceedingly significant. They were considered so much a part of those who wore them that they not only told who and what they were, but were intended as external symbols of the individual's innermost feelings and deepest desires, and his moral urge to represent God aright.
Hold on. I'm trying to speed you up to it.
Come on.
Look for women's dress.
Come on. Women's dress. Among the Hebrews, neither sex was permitted by Mosaic law to wear the same form of clothing as was used by the other. A few articles of female clothing carried somewhat the same name and basic pattern, yet there was always sufficient difference in embossing, embroidery, and needlework.
You see what it's saying? There was the similar dress between the male and the female clothing, except they had a different pattern or sufficient difference in the embossing or the embroidery so that in appearance, the line of demarcation between men and women could be readily detected. Which means a man could wear pants, a woman could wear pants, but her own has feminine stuff on it. So you know that's a woman's pants. And a man won't go have the masculine stuff on it. You get the point? Right. So that's what we want right there. I remember reading something about breeches, and it's escaping me right now. They said the woman would wear the breeches under their longer garments because they would ride horses and do all regular stuff, and they would wear it as like an underpants down there. Men would wear it too. All right, I thought it was right here, but this last thing you read here for Tzazapuan or Rabban, whoever reading, this is your breakdown for Deuteronomy 22:5. Read that last part again, Rabban.
Another one, Khan. Among the Hebrews, neither sect. Oh, sorry, last part. A few articles.
You can go ahead.
Come on, Khan. Among the Hebrews, neither sex was permitted by Mosaic law to wear the same form of clothing as was used by the other. A few articles of female clothing carried somewhat the same name and basic pattern.
So for the Hebrews, you wasn't allowed to wear the same thing a woman wear. A woman wasn't allowed to wear the same thing a man wear. Nevertheless, go ahead.
A few articles of female clothing carried somewhat the same name and basic pattern.
Right? Yet, a few articles of female clothing carry the same name and basic pattern, like a shirt or a pants. You get the point? Or even a headscarf. How do you know the difference between a male headscarf and a female one? One looks feminine, one looks masculine. What if she wearing black, you wearing black? One has the crown removed. That's basic. That's for a man. Because the law says his head must be uncovered. Hers has to be covered. You get the point? So you see some similar basic clothing that's the same, but they have a slight difference that makes them pertinent to the sex. Go ahead.
Come on. Yet there was always sufficient difference in embossing, embroidery, and needlework, so that in appearance, the line of demarcation between men and women could be readily detected.
Right? There was sufficient difference between them. You get the point? So that the line of difference between male and female could be readily detected. You could know that that's a man's pants, and you could know that that's a woman's pants. You know, that shirt belongs to a man. You know, that shirt belongs to a woman. You know, that headpiece belongs to a man. You know, that headpiece belongs to a woman. You get it? You know, that belt is a man's belt. You know, that boots. If a man can't wear what pertains to a woman, Issachar in danger because they can't wear none of them cowboy boots. And them Issachar sisters wear them cowboy boots. You get the point? But there's boots for a woman and there's boots for a man. You get the point? So now the fornication for a man is not the same as the fornication for a woman. It's not the same. It's absolutely not the same.
Another one can't say I've got that. Yeah.
It's not the same. I'm gonna find that breeches one. I remember reading it somewhere.
Right?
Yeah, go ahead, Al.
May I be excused, sir?
Yeah, please, brother. Go ahead, Al.
Slow.
All right, hold on. I think I found it here. One more time. No, this is not it. All right. So to that one, you understand that one?
Another one can't say yet. All
right. The other part of it's in Corinthians, with the one you're talking about. The one he's talking about is in one of the schools Paul set up in Corinth. The school fell to decay. They let some woman rule. The brothers was unbrotherly in there. I think that might be 11 or 10 in chapter 11 or 10. One brother went and he had sex with his father's rib. Not his mother, but one of his father's ribs. And was boasting about it, that he took this woman and they allowed it to happen. And that's what you're talking about, where Paul had to set that school straight and say, deliver such an one to Satan, so that the flesh could be destroyed, so that the spirit could be saved. And sometimes that could happen. Sometimes that could happen to you. When you're a child, that's what happens. How you know? How you know what I'm talking about? What's the old saying? The grandparents say, if you can't hear, you're gonna feel. If your spirit ain't listening, your flesh will. Right. Your flesh will. You start to dance and beat off that belt, and then you'll say, okay, I ain't gonna do it no more. And you some of them ways you remember till this day. Oh boy, get my ass bust that day. I remember that beating. You get the point? Sometimes it's like that. Now with adults, there ain't no amount of beating you can do to change an adult. Sometimes you had to go in the box. Sometimes you had to, you had 9 nights for you. And not by our hands, but you get kicked out of school so Satan can have you. And Satan is going to, spin you 6 ways from Sunday. You're going to turn your life upside down. And next thing you know, in a short space of time, and a short space could be a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're going to hear, damn, hey man, you know who died? Yeah, so-and-so, remember he used to be there? Damn, that nigga died? Shit. Should you hear that sister died? Damn. Because you get checked in here, but there's only so much you can do in here because this is a family. You get the point? And we these chairs are for people who want to obey, who actually want their life changed, not people who want to just feel better about themselves and still remain how they were, aka a hypocrite. You get the point? In here, so people who actually want, who tired of out there. Some people, the scripture say, do not be alarmed, because some would creep in unawares. That happens. You have people who would creep in unawares, and as time progresses, you realize they're really craving on the outside of that door. There's some people who they're leaving their slavery and they're coming down the road. They ain't stopping to eat. They're gonna eat when they get to the school, or they're gonna, stop by the gas station by the school and get something. But they're coming down early. They park up in the car. They're waiting the school to open, because this is what really matters to them. This is all that matters, and they don't give a damn. Then there's some people, from the time they walk through the door, they're looking at the clock. They're looking at the wall, because they can't wait for it to be over, for freedom. It feels like you're chained. Give me that in the Bible too. Give me fetters of iron. Right? It's in the Apocrypha, I think. Or it might be in Isaiah. In here, it feels so restricted. You just like, whew. And this class going done. They watch the clock. 8:58, 8:59. Salaki, so one more question. This next week. They don't want you to ask that next question, because they can't stand to sit in the class one more time, because they got to go get high, or they got to go down on the corner and sleep with some slut, or go do some old deviant nonsense. It's just too much in here. They need to break away. They need to break free. Some people is like that. And sometimes you rebel so much, we open the door for you. Hurry up. Go on. Get out there. Go on. You're free now. You don't have to be in here no more. No, Lord be with you. Ain't nobody angry with you. But let Satan have you. Let Satan have you now. And before long, you call in the school for prayers because you went to the doctor, and then you just start crying. We never know what the doctor said. You just cried on the phone. I went to the doctor and right. You there? Hello? Hello? Go ahead. Okay, it's called disobedience. Don't even go that far. Just disobedience. That's it. Just plain old rebellion and disobedience. That's all. Yeah, Diana? Come on.
Basically saying like they're a childish way, they still got that child. Like a child, they're not.
You could describe it like that.
Yeah.
You could describe it where the point where when it's time to be an adult, they don't want to be an adult. That's in the Bible too. When I was young, I spake as a child, I did things as a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. But even that is still missing it, because you could be a full adult and you still, okay, these people still have a slavery. They still maintain a house, maintain a car, they pay bills. They do adult things, but to discipline themselves and to obey their spirit and not their flesh, can't do it. they just can't do it. I just have to have what they want to have. And then in here, it'll just be, that shield is wrong. Them boots you wearing, not in the Bible. They have to find something wrong. It's just one thing they need. Just one. Just need one thing to be a beef. Why you always wear black? You're so dark. That's not in the Bible. Satan, I'm out.
Right.
But get lost. No, it's better. I couldn't breathe with you in here anyway. Go on, leave. Right? You find what I'm looking for?
Come on, Councillor.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus 21:19. Doctrine on the fool is as fetters on the feet.
Doctrine unto fools is as fetters on the feet. Fetters is like chains, like ankle shackles or handcuffs. Right? That's how doctrine unto a fool is. What is doctrine? Being told what to do. Our culture. This is how we are. That's doctrine. You get the point? Doctrine is that thing you teach that forms the culture. And doctrine unto a fool feels like they're locked up. Feels like they're doing a bid act. No problem. Leave. Don't come no more because it's just you're doing a bid and then you get the call. And what the call say? You're actually doing a bid. You're calling from, a collect call from, upstate New York. You get the point? You're actually in there now. You absolutely actually in there. Brother, I seen one. I ain't going to say too much details, brother. Long time ago, I seen this brother around. And he just would not get it right. Not get it right. He done, horrible things happen to this brother. Things that would kill somebody else. And then I seen on the damn television video footage of this brother just walk up to another brother and smoke him. Rise the damn tool and smoke him right there on CCTV by a parking garage. I don't know what the hell he thinking. He had, of course, been long gone out of here. He ain't coming out. That's it. You understand? It could happen. The best thing for you to do is to come in here and yield yourself to somebody who is way better than you. That's another thing that would fix your mind. The men who are in charge of this school are way better than you are. And the men who put men in charge, those men who they put in charge are way better than you are. And as they tell you what to do, you should do it knowing that you had control of your life up until this point. And just look back on your life and see how great it was. What could you lose by possibly listening to another nigger, which is half the problem, just because he black? Listen to the white man every day. Right. But to listen to a nigger, that big nose and that big lip, you ain't having that. What could possibly go more wrong with your life? Well, you don't want to do that? No problem. Go let Satan have you. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I was saying how brothers don't want to be in school when worse things happen to them. Jim Mohammed said a brother got locked up on his doorstep doing nothing. And when he asked to raise your hand, I can't believe he got locked up on his doorstep. I was like, well, the problem is he shouldn't be on his doorstep. He shouldn't be at camp.
That's it. That's it. The thing is so simple. But again, if you don't really want it, you want to listen to your flesh more, you're going to find a way. You're going to just, this brother's beard is just, I can't stand his beard. He's too much studs. These kids running around here, you all got to make them more disciplined. I can't take it in here. I'm out. All that is a reason to go get high. And the thing is, we in here, we're so sincere, you actually thinking there is a problem. You actually be like, well, let's work this out because we family. You really don't see, you ain't seeing the root of the thing is that this motherfucker here, excuse my language, is just foul and really does not love this place, really doesn't respect it. And he or she just wants to go get high or have illicit sex. It's like a thirst. Imagine you're thirsty and you had to go drink something and you have to drink it down. You just had to drink it down. And after you drink it, everything you felt before is gone. They're sitting in this chair, brother, and they're thirsty, fidgeting, they're leaning, whatever the hell, until they can reach outside. and as they reach outside, it quenches their thirst. You get the point? And they're a fool according to the Bible. The Bible says doctrine unto a fool is like handcuffs. It's like handcuffs. Brother, you shouldn't do this. Sis, you shouldn't do that. Don't do this no more. Don't do that no more. You always want to. You always want to.
I restrict.
What do cops put on your hand when they want to? Control you, because you're a fool. You need to be controlled. That's right. And that's what you don't know. That's why your life was a mess before, because you had no control. That's right. Go ahead, sis. No sweat. Your question next, right? Let's get our last one. One of the Ephesians. Sis Apon, you good with this one?
Kind of on. This is I'm done already, so I don't know who's this one is.
We good with that one.
Yeah.
Give me the one in Ephesians you have, right?
I think we done 2 and verse 8. The book of Ephesians, chapter 2 and verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ, Yahushua, unto good works, which God hath before ordained that we should walk in them. And that is from 8 to 10.
Where question was that, sis?
Oh, this is delicious. It's a gift. It's not anything that we can do. But I don't know if I'm getting it confused with salvation and grace.
Ephesians 2 and what?
8 to 10.
8 to 10. Okay, read it one more time, Robin, please.
Come on, sir. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Yahushua unto good works, which God had before ordained that we should walk in them.
Okay. And what was the question?
I think I'm sort of getting, so it's saying, is it saying basically grace is a gift that we can't earn grace, we can't do anything to earn it, but obviously we have to follow the commandments, so like, maybe I'm getting a bit confused.
The first part you have it right. For by grace ye are saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High, right? The gift that you get, this is not something you could have gotten on your own. The Lord had to give each and every one of us this gift. You get the point? This is not something, you could do. Give me Romans 9. $16? No, 15. 15 and 16. Just up one, read that for me real quick.
Romans chapter 9, verse 15. For he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. And I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
Right? The Lord's mercy is a gift. That's a choice he gonna make. There's nothing you could do to sway him any other way. You get the point? You could try. That doesn't mean you can't try. You could try and you should try. Does that mean just because you try, you're going to get it? You can't say, it's up to the Lord. It's up to the Lord he going to choose who he going to choose. And he going to have mercy on who he wants to have mercy. Why? Why is he? Come on.
This is the ultimate judge. It's his decision. He sees who we are really.
He sees who you are really. What?
Lord
know my heart. There's something else he sees. If he was in class tonight, he would get it. There's something else he sees. Something else. Something else he sees.
So, like, if I could.
Go ahead, Robin.
I was going to say he chooses who he gives mercy unto because it's a gift. It's of him to give.
I get it. That's not what I'm asking, though. I'm asking, what else does he see?
About this, really about.
That's true, but what else does he see?
Like other one, your spirit.
You onto it.
Your work, Salakia, your works. These your works.
It's like if somebody in the chat said obedience. The officer Ramawan, he says dedication.
There's something else. What the hell? Okay. We went it over in class. You don't have no memory of your past life. Right? Everybody is saying what? Everybody they say who there was in the past life. They were they was helping Moses. Wasn't nobody rebelling against Moses, right?
Right.
Nobody was rebelling against Christ. Nobody was the Sadducee and the Pharisee, right? That's what everybody says. He also sees what you did before, and he might just want to make you pay some more. You get the point? That's just that. And that's just that. Is there unrighteousness with God? Hell no. That's in verse 14. He's not unrighteous. You just don't understand it. It's like any parent. You all have kids. Do y'all jump on your kids every single time to do something? Sometimes they do something and you're watching. You watch them and they watch you, and then they're like, oh shit. They stop and they're waiting to see if the bell coming. And then they ain't get no belt, so they might act right for 2 seconds and then go right back to doing the same thing. And then sometime next week, you catch them doing something and they think it's for that thing that day. And they start getting beats for last week, last year, 2 years ago. You remember when you're telling me suck out last week in the bathroom? You remember when you're telling me you're a big man? Take big man. No, I didn't say that. I remember. That's our Father. That's our Father. And it's up to him. You just get your best shot. Just come back next life. That's all. Yeah, plenty. Yeah, the one thing you're going to give you is chances. Right? Let's keep reading. You was going to say something now? If you had a roll too, you could go ahead and you got to go. No, sir. You worked this out. No sign Christ. That's the Lord. Go ahead. You're not trying to be what? Say again?
I'm not trying to apologize for here on is everything supposed to be forgotten as I thought when you like to change life. Whatever you did before.
Everything's supposed to be forgotten, but what if you remind him? And that what I should say, you remind me of one thing. I can't believe that. He's like, hold on. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Hey, Michael, send them angels down. Get that person right there. Yeah. Your job right now is to look as unfamiliar as that person you was before. The last class I was telling you, if your mother does not, or father does not say, you ain't John Boy no more, I don't know who the hell you are, but you ain't my son. If they don't say that, you reminding the Lord of somebody. If the Lord is reminded of your old man, and the people in the world are familiar with your old man, you're backwards. The Lord has to forget who you were. And the people in the world, they're going to have to force themselves to remember who you were because you're so different. That's just it. That's life. You had to become something so unrecognizable, the Lord recognizes you. That's it. But if you still that old person, he might do a drive-by and he just might look like the ops. Well, say you can spin the block on you. That's it. Let's keep going. Anybody else? Let's keep going. Where was in Romans?
16. Finish 6. It was 15, but I'll finish reading 15.
Give me 16.
Verse Romans chapter 9, verse 16. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy.
So therefore, you have to understand this. It's not of you who willeth or who runneth, it's the Lord that shows mercy. You understand? So it's not just because you doing it. You have to do it in hope of gaining favor from the Lord. That's how you have to do it. Just like a child. How does a child draw a picture of you? Does a child focus on if it actually looks like you? To their best ability, they're doing the best they could. And they're trying to please you. They're sweeping the floor. They ain't sweeping a lick. It's still dusty. Paper still on the floor. But they're trying to please you. They don't know if you're going to be pleased. They hope you're going to be pleased. They know the picture look like trash. They could look at the picture and see it don't look like Kermit. They know that shit don't look like Kermit. Kermit got 2 eyes. They got 3 eyes on the picture. And what do they say? Do you like it? They need you to, validify their effort. That's the Lord. That's how we should be with the Lord. We should want to do our job so good, it provokes the Lord. It provokes him in the right way. It impresses him. It forces him to be like, man, I see the work that brother doing. I see what that sister doing. They're grinding. They're rocking. I like that. What's going on down there. You got to do that. Remember, we are Jacob's sons. Jacob wrestled the angel. All night, and the Lord, he gained favor with the Lord. He didn't know it was going to happen, but he gave it his all, his best shot. That's how we had to be, because him giving you credibility, him giving you the okay is a gift, because not everybody could get it. Not everybody could, get the Lord's, nod of approval. We have it as a people, but we disobedient children. You get the point? Go back to Ephesians.
Ephesians chapter.
Let me get Radar. You want to take it? Let me get Radar in class, all right?
No, I can't say.
Ephesians chapter 2.
2 and verse
Let's start with verse 8 and we stop at 10.
Chapter 2, 8, Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8.
Nice and loud, huh?
For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God.
Right, you can't save yourself. You understand? You can't save yourself at all. It's the Lord. You understand? I'm going to give you a good example. We had coronavirus recently, right? People were scared of taking the damn job. Some people say, go take it. Does that mean you're going to live if you take the damn vaccine? No. Does that mean you're going to die if you don't take the vaccine? No. The point is you can't save yourself. Honor thy physician. Go take the vaccine and continue being a sinner. You're going to die. Don't be a sinner and take the vaccine. Your chances are way better. Don't be a sinner and don't take the vaccine. Your chances are way better. Be a sinner and go mix all kind of concoctions, lemon and ginger and cayenne pepper and put a whole sheet over your head and inhale all the oxygen you could. You're going to die. That's right. Because you're a sinner. You get the point? Keep going on.
Not of works, lest any man should boast.
Right? It's not of our works, lest any man should boast. What does that mean? Look at all this I did. I did this, that, and this and that, and look what all I did. You act like you don't need the Lord, like a child acting like they don't need their parents. I don't need you. I paid your bills. I sent you to school. And what does the ungrateful child say? I didn't ask you to do all of that. And what does the parent proceed to do? Knock all the teeth out your mouth. And then your dumb ass go on the internet and show your friends, look what my parents did to me. You believe that? A parent to their own child. Their own child they do this to. Yes, mother effer. Yes. because you didn't need me, but you need a doctor though.
You're in a position.
Right? Go ahead.
For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus unto good work.
Go ahead.
Which God have before ordained that we should walk in them.
Right? We were made to serve the Father. That's like you make children. You want to have children, and as these children grow, you start having them help you out. And as they get older, they help you out some more and some more until they become adults. And then there's some space. You go off and enjoy your golden years. They enjoy young adulthood. And then there comes a time where they now have to come and help you. And that's ordained from the beginning. From the time you lay down with that woman and had sex, or you lay down with that man and had sex to make that baby, the natural way was for one day, just like you had to wipe their behind when they're young and feed them milk and comb the little 2 strands of hair, change the diaper. Eventually, they're going to have to comb your 2 strands and change your diaper and feed you formula and put you to bed and then finally put you in the ground. It's the same service in a way. You get the point? It's the same type of service. You understand, sis? All right, any more? Or are we good to go?
It's like we got a question online.
Quickly.
Come on, sir. The sister asked, says, Shalom, sir. If a woman rejects the truth and doesn't have a husband, is she essentially uncovered, out of order, and leading herself? It says most believe that Yahushua is covering them.
Read it one more time.
Come on, sir. If a woman rejects the truth and doesn't have a husband, is she essentially uncovered, out of order, or leading herself?
If she doesn't have the truth and is uncovered, the uncovered part.
She doesn't have a husband and rejects the truth. Is she essentially uncovered? So she's not covered by her husband, or she's not covered by. She doesn't have she rejects any sort of covering, basically.
Okay. If anyone rejects the truth, they're putting themselves in harm's danger.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're putting themselves in the way to be hurt. Anyone rejects the truth, whether they have a husband or not, whether they have a wife or not. Now, I believe it's from the scripture of if you're married and one person is unbelieving, the unbelieving is sanctified by the one who's in the truth, and the children are also sanctified by that. Now, that comes with mercy. I'm going to explain it. Sometimes you may come into the truth and you have a spouse, whether it's a husband or a wife, that's not in the truth. And they don't know nothing. They know you into some old crazy thing, some old lunatic cult thing, but somehow you changing on them and they don't know no better. They don't understand it, but they ain't coming in. The Lord will have mercy on them for your sake. But then there comes a time that they do know. And then they might start to rebel and reject you and abuse you and then turn on the Lord and make your life hell. When I say abuse, I'm talking about making your life hell to come into the truth, to stay in the truth. And the Lord they now become an enemy to the Lord because they're an enemy to you. And the Lord will just remove them. You get the point? Right? The key here is to understand that the Lord is a man and he's a man with children. And a man with children, when his children are threatened in any way, form, or fashion, he envisions blood. A man who has children doesn't look on the playground and see another child hit his child and think, oh, come on, stop doing that. He immediately thinks to bust his child head. Immediately. I'm being honest with you. That's a man thinks like that, which is why a man has to be way more disciplined because he has the capability to do it. But a parent does not suffer violations to their children very lightly. They immediately think something extreme, and then they have to pull themselves back down to earth. Well, I can't do this, but this child won't pay because they touched mine. You get the point? So now you could be tied to somebody who is ignorant. They don't know anything. They're really innocently ignorant. They're sinning, but they're ignorant. They're going to suffer, but they're not going to suffer as bad as they could have if you wasn't there. Same thing with a child. This child could just be blessed because you are around. No, it could come a time where this child is faced, or this adult is faced with the option of a choice. They have enough information, they have opportunity, they know what's right and wrong now, and they have to make a choice, but they can't do it because it feels too much like shackles. It's, yeah, I want to be free. Ain't no sweat. Go be free in that box. Or just away. You get the point? So don't think that because you have a husband and he in the truth, you're protected. You could be a straight up enemy to the Lord, and he is in a council with his elders and Christ and Satan in that council, trying to figure out how the hell to get rid of you. What plot could he lay in your path to take you off because you just a monster to whoever? You get the point? Whoever is the person asks the question. So don't think like that. What you want to do is come into the truth wholeheartedly and obey the Lord. Whether you're married, unmarried, kids, no kids, come in here and obey the Lord. And everything should be all right after that. You get your best shot, you run on through. Remember, we all paying a bill that we ran up before. That somebody paid it, so now we owe the man who pays it. Because you're coming to the truth, does that mean the bill is paid? No. You ought to come now and work. You ought to come now and work. He said, endure to the end. You ought to be in here working and pushing and obeying him till the end, till your last breath. At that point, you have a good, strong chance of your bill being paid. You get the point? Any more? Or we good to go?
That was all the questions.
Say again?
That was everything online, sir.
I think that's about it, right? With that, we pass the class to Trooper Radayal out, and Lester, give him a hand.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started at 1 West 123rd Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6-month period in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3 and 8 to 10 means 10th in the Hebrews, Mashak, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher, priest funds. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Up and coming holy convocations.
Dedication, Hanukkah.
Announcements, holy convocation from the sheet. Remind Akim and Akraf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start to wear all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarves. With that, Amajium Shabbat. Amajium. Alright. Yahweh Psalm, give the sisters a one kind salute. Man of Israel, Amajium Shabbat, Amajium,
Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Yahweh Mitzah, cast dismiss. I've done that for a while.